Today we have Chef Simone Bridges. Hello everyone, today we're here with Chef Simone Bridges. And for those who don't know, what is Goddess of Food Factory?
Well, Goddess Food Factory is my business where I go around to schools and different audiences of kids, teaching them about STREAM and how they can infuse baking and cooking with STREAM. And for you all who don't know what STREAM is science, technology, reading, engineering, arts, and mathematics, or as I like to call them, the 6 main components of education.
And how did you think of this idea?
I just always used STREAM while baking. I realized it because my mom, she's a reading coach at Susie Talbert, and she is all about education. So she was like, Simone, you know what would be a good idea that would make you really different if you added education somewhere into baking and cooking. I was like, And then we searched up how would it work? And so then that's when it was like, boom, we would add STREAM and infuse it in baking and cooking and teach them how it's used in baking and cooking. And I showed them how to use the STREAM concepts through baking and through culinary concepts.
And how did you create the recipe specific for the education system? Because I imagine some recipes are really easy, you don't really care about the amounts of food, but then if some other recipes, you put in a lot of cream or whatever, and it turns out awful. So how did you get the education system into your recipes? Did you have to change the recipes?
Well, the STREAM is like always incorporated inside of baking. It's really the baking, and then you just tell how STREAM is used in baking. So it's like with science, the science will be mixing the liquid and solid ingredients and see if it turns out to be a solid or a liquid. For example, when you add the yeast to a mixture, then it will rise, and you can use that in breads. You can use it to make crust, pies, all that. So we're really just telling them how STREAM concepts is used in culinary, not how culinary is using STREAM concepts. So it's like every single time, no matter what we're baking, it'll always be based on how STREAM is used inside of culinary concepts. For example, with this technology, they'll be like, you'll be researching up different information about the things that you're using. For example, if we were making apple pie, or research some facts about apples. What type of vitamin does it have in it? You'll research what does the apple grow on, certain things like that. That'll be technology and reading. Sometimes with our extreme baking boxes, we'll have different recipes that you can read. You can read the instructions, read the directions.
When you first started trying to get yourself out there, did you get yourself out there by asking schools if you could teach, or did you get yourself out there using Instagram, Etsy, places like that?
Well, I started off with going up to people. I would go up to people in public and I just pass up my flyers. I'll do a lot of like going on different TV shows and doing interviews like this. I'll do a lot of different things. And then sometimes we'll just go to big events and sell my products. But when social media hit, I was really big on social media. I just kept on posting, kept the momentum going. So we really grew on social media, but it started off in like just face to face with this communication.
And how much time did it take? Because I imagine if you're going person to person asking them things, they'll say, "Oh yeah, take my flower, take my flower." It must be hard to get them to call you. So how much time did that take?
Well, a lot of people, when they like, it's something that really catches people. Either think, oh, sweet, something that they can eat, something that's really delicious, something that people will always be eating. So it's not really hard because people are always eating sweets. So when they're doing that, it's like, oh, okay, well, she's baking. Oh, she lives right around the corner. Oh, she's big, Goddess Food Factory in Jacksonville, Florida, here where I live. Okay, let me get her information. Oh, she's a kid chef and she's doing her own thing. She owns her own business. Ooh, let me book her to go speak for my kids and have my kids listen to her about how she accomplished her goals and had a successful business. So it's like a lot of people, it's not really hard because people really catch the eye, especially because pink and I stand out because it's all pink and bright. A lot of people will pay attention and they'll be really interested.
And first of all, you do motivational speaking, right?
Yes.
And what TV shows have you been on?
I've been on Wonderama TV. I've been on Steve Harvey. I've been on a lot of news like River City Live. I've been on. I had 3 Smile of a Child commercials, which is aired on Trinity Baptist Network every Sunday. And yeah, if y'all want to watch those, make sure you stay tuned. I'll put the times that they will air on my social media at Goddess Hoop Jacks.
And how are you earning money from this company? Do people donate? What I mean is, when you say you're getting a successful company and all these things, you're volunteering to go to the schools and explain to them what's going on.
Yes.
So how is it a successful company if you're not getting money, or are you getting money to like a subscription base or things like that?
All those speaking engagements come from my nonprofit organization, Simone Bridges Inspires Inc. All my free work is from my nonprofit organization, Simone Bridges Inspires Inc. That's when I'm giving back to the community. But all my profit with Goddess Food Factory, that comes from my subscription boxes, my sweets, especially because coronavirus is going around. People are staying inside. So they're like, okay, I've had lots of orders, especially because Mother's Day just came up. I've had lots of orders for my subscription boxes, lots of orders for gourmet treats, and that's like chocolate covered strawberries, chocolate covered Oreos. My Snicker brownies been selling a lot. So like I've been having lots of business. So that's where I'm getting my money from, like my subscription boxes, all that.
And what makes you different from any other girls or boys or your competitors? Because a lot of your competitors right now have this product, they're doing the exact same thing as you. So what makes you different to them?
Well, not everybody includes stream inside culinary concept. That's what my niche is. That's what makes me different, me stand out from other people. Plus, everybody who bakes, they don't bake, do one-on-one cooking sessions. They don't go out and talk to kids about the formulation of success and how they can reach success and talk to them about business. They don't do convention centers. They don't do panel discussions. Like I do a little bit of everything. I even have parties. I even host birthday parties for little kids, and they want to have a thing where they can come in.
With the subscription base, isn't that just recipes, or what are you adding to make it a form of education?
Okay, so in my extreme baking boxes, it's kind of like how I was saying, I go out to schools and I set up my stream stations. So like I was saying, when I was breaking it down with the science, they'll mix the liquid and solid ingredients together to make it either a solid or a liquid batter. And then they'll have, for technology, there'll be a technology question. We have like these sheets, and you read the story, and then there's some reading questions that goes along with the reading story, and then there's some mathematics questions that goes along with the reading story. And then at the bottom of the paper, there's like this technology connection. It says technology connection, and there'll be a question that you have to look up. That'll be technology portion. And then the science will be mixing up all the ingredients together. You'll get like different things every single month.
What is your best-selling recipe?
My best-selling recipe would be my Snicker brownies, of course.
I know, I saw those on the Steve Harvey show. They looked delicious.
They were. Everybody gets them.
And did your product at the start sell well, or did it take time? Yeah, your subscription base.
Okay. So my subscription boxes, they were pretty much successful from the jump. It was really fun for the kids, and they really enjoyed it. Like I said, we started off with going in school, setting up the stream station, but then everybody wanted me to be at their school, and I just couldn't be at all those places at once. So then that's when I was like, you know what, how could we be able to reach all these different audiences at the same time? And everybody would get a little taste for Chef Simone. So we were like, boom, we could make subscription boxes, because we were seeing them, but we didn't see one with stream and baking incorporated with each other. So it was like, you know what, that's exactly what I'm gonna do, because that would solve everything. I just need to put out these extreme baking boxes, and then we'll send it, we ship them, we deliver, all that.
And how did you get your product to the market? Like when you're making the subscription base, because I imagine that's the main product here, that's the one that makes
Yes.
money. How did you get someone to make it, put the recipes inside, and then ship it? Or did you do all this and then send it to everyone?
We have to do it. I get me and my family, we all gather up when we have lots of boxes that we have to do. We all gather up and we just make these boxes and we ship them out as fast as we can.
So I would say that's something else that makes you different, is that you make
Yes.
everything
Yes.
handmade. And how did you get a hand of all the recipes? Because do they send you the food from somewhere?
All the recipes, no, we measure out the recipes. It's my recipes, so we measure out all the ingredients, and then we put them, package them up, and then we put them in the boxes and we send them out.
And so when you first started, at the start, did anyone inspire you to start the company?
Of course, my granny inspired me to, my granny and my mom actually. My granny inspired me to bake. I've been baking ever since I was 3. When I turned 5, I got my first easy bake oven. And when I turned 9, I started baking on the real conventional oven. When I turned 11, I started my own business, Goddess Food Factory. It took me a while to get my mom to actually help me start my own business, but she inspired me to start my own business because she has her business, Lavish Moments, where she decorates weddings and events. So I was like, you know what? I want to start my own business too because I saw how her clients were smiling all the time and she was always hustling and she was just making them very proud. And I was like, I want to make people smile through my treats too. So I decided to start a business and my granny inspired me to bake.
Aw, that's very nice. And when you first went out there and started selling everywhere, how did you get the engineers? How did you get everyone to help you? Because your mom and your grandma aren't the only one doing the boxes, right?
No, okay, so it's me, my mom, my sister, my dad, my granny. We're always helping each other with anything I need help with. And I have big orders. My granny is always helping me make some of the treats. Or my dad, when he's not on the road, when he's here, he's helping me make some of the treats. And then when I'm with the boxes, it's always me, my sister, my mom. We're packaging the boxes up. And we have like a big order I get from my family members, and then we come and we package all the boxes up and we send them out. But it's like, it's basically all of us. It's not a certain amount of us. It's just all of us. We just help each other out. And because we're a close family and they're always helping me. I always have my family support.
And with your subscription base, is there only one package or is there different packages?
Well, there's, for the boys, we have this stream characters type of box. And for the girls, you have like this goddess pink girly type of box.
And what does cooking mean to you?
Cooking is a place where I can, of course, feel good. It's my comfort zone. It's my safe place. I can sing sometimes when I'm baking. I can listen to music. I can dance. It's like my safe place where I don't have to worry about anything else. If I'm feeling upset or if I'm just feeling bored, I go ahead and I bake something, make something different. I don't make the same thing every time. I always try the different recipes. So right now I'm working on macaroons while we're staying home. I'm working on macaroons, but we still have homework, so I'm doing that too while I'm here. I have lots of work, especially because I'm at Darnell Cookman, and that's like a medical magnet school, so it's lots of work. It's lots of work.
I'm basically the opposite to you. I tried cooking the other day, and then I try it, and do you know the plastic thing that you use to move the thing on top of the food on top of the pan? Well,
What?
there's this plastic thing that if you're making pancakes, you flip it over using this thing.
Oh, spatulas, yes.
Yeah, well, by mistake, mine is a plastic spatula, and I didn't notice. I was making something else, I think. I put the spatula under the pan by mistake. The spatula went on fire, and it just kind of broke. And yeah.
Well, don't use plastic.
Yeah.
Use like a metal one, and then I have these tools, and I use metal ones most of the times, and then I use that, and then it's kind of, I don't know how to say it. It's kind of that song, look at the flip of the wrist, look at the flick of the wrist. Yeah, so it's you're flicking the wrist that way while you're flipping the pancake, and you dig under there, then you flip it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a technique. Well, you just have to get used to it. Practice makes perfect. You just have to keep practicing.
And since you know so much about cooking, who is the master of the arts, the person who taught you this?
Oh, well, I bake. I bake a lot. I'll cook every once in a while because my mom, she's at that point where she doesn't even cook anymore. But she, I guess once in every 5 years, she may do a little something. But mostly it's me and my sister cooking. And then my dad, when he comes home from being on the road, then he'll cook. But I do baking. My specialty is baking. I don't know how to cook everything, but the basics, I know how to make fries, chicken, pork chop, macaroni and cheese. I know how to make breakfast. I'll cook. I'll slap down on some breakfast now. I know how to make some good breakfast. But as far as dinner goes, I know how to make the basics. I'm not that good.
And what would you recommend to make for a breakfast dish, for example?
But my favorite breakfast dish I have, it's like this thing that I make. It's like pancakes, and then you put like, I make it with sugar because I don't like syrup on top of my pancakes. I just put sugar in it, and then I'll either do some sausage or bacon. In the middle, I'll make like a sandwich. I'll either do sausage or bacon, or I'll do ham or turkey, and then I'll put some cheese in the middle. I'll put some eggs in the middle, and I think that's all I put in it. And then I have some grits with some cheese on the side, and some fruit, and then I have a nice smoothie. Like I'll have mango, pineapple, and strawberry smoothie. That's my favorite smoothie.
Oh,
With a
that
little bit of
sounds
kale.
delicious. I could probably only make one of those things. It sounds delicious. I mean, I do love my smoothies when I wake up. Those are delicious. And I see all these pictures of everything. How did you learn how to promote yourself on your website and around Instagram?
Well, I look at YouTube videos all the time, and I go on podcasts. I listen to podcasts all the time. Like, is this dude named Mario Armstrong, and he's always doing these morning podcasts on Instagram Morning Lives. And he'll always give us good tips. So I'm always looking at different ways to expand my brand and make my business better in any way possible. But YouTube is one of your favorite friends. That's one of your closest friends when you own your own business, looking for different ways to increase your sales, to reach out to other people, to expand your brand. YouTube will really help. So I always using that YouTube video, listen to podcasts, and going on lives.
And how did you get a hold of the machines that you used to cook? Because for a kid to have to use all these dishes and these things to cook, it's dangerous, and a lot of the parents won't trust it. What dishes do you suppose like the kid does, or do you put in your recipe book, or are they all for parents to help the kids?
Parents always say it. Make sure you have parent supervision, whatever you're doing. If you know how to cook, now it's up to them. If you know how to cook, and you know how to, and your parent knows that you know how to cook, they let you go inside the kitchen and they let you cook, then you do that. But I always recommend parent supervision within everything. I'm always saying parent supervision. Make sure the parent's watching. Make sure some parent is over it, some parent or guardian. Make sure somebody's always watching, because you never know what may happen. Me personally, I would always go inside the kitchen until my parents, because then my parents never believed that that I was safe enough. Because one time I didn't know, because like I said, I don't cook because this scared me for life. I didn't know. So at the time we were practicing for this, like as if we were ever going to be on the show. Me and my sister, we have like these competitions, well, we used to at least. And I was doing some onions, or I was making some onions or peppers, one of them. And I got the oil, I put it onto the stove, and it was really hot, right? It started popping a little bit, and I was like, oh, this is too hot. And I tried to turn it down. It wasn't working. It was just staying like popping, I guess, because once the oil is hot, and you have to just really wait for a long time until it cools down. So then I caught myself putting some cold water in it. Oh my God, it started popping everywhere. All you said, the oil was popping everywhere, and I just ran off. I just ran off, and I let my dad finish the rest, because he knew, because he been cooking a lot, so he has like some pops on his skin. So it's like it's whatever to him. It doesn't really hurt as much. Like the little pops, it don't hurt. Me, it's like, oh no, stay away from that. I never been burned on my skin, none of that. I'm all good. I never been burned. So it's like, when it comes to oil, I'm very careful now. I make sure the oil doesn't get too hot. I never put water into it until like while the oil is still cool, then I add some water in it. But when it gets hot, I don't do anything, no. Unless it's like I'm making something, as far as baking, making like churros or something, then if I have to put it in the oil, I always make sure I pay attention to the temperature of my oil. So now I'm very cautious. But like I said, please have that parent supervision, because I used to think that I got it. I used to think that I had it. And I was like, oh, I know what I'm doing. But once that oil started popping, all my confidence was gone. I stopped cooking.
To be fair, I'm not sure if I'm ever gonna cook again, because I've been banned for life by my mother. Banned. After that incident, and I don't blame her, because I literally melted the spatula. It was on fire for a few seconds. But But my next question would be, did you sell in stores your subscription? Did you sell the subscription recipes to start in stores?
Does sell the subscription recipe inside of stores?
Yeah. Did you sell the recipes and things
No,
like
we haven't got that far yet. That's how I want to go. I want my subscription boxes to be in stores. I want to get that far, but we haven't gotten that far yet. But that is the goal, to get big enough to where my subscription boxes could be sold in stores also.
So you sell most of your subscription boxes online, right?
Yes, off of my website.
And so how did you get the traction on your website? Because I know you're talking to me about going and talking to everyone else, but you're telling me it's mostly TV shows, right?
Yes, so I'll always do interviews. I always do TV shows. I'll do different interviews with different people. I'll go on Riverside Live any chance that I get with talking to any audience, whether it's online or in person. I'll always mention my extreme baking boxes because I want everybody to know about them. And then I always, of course, hand out my flyers. Everybody will know about it. I always refer them to my social media, my website, my email, and then I always get them to end up going to my website. Of course, they'll end up visiting it to see what it's about, and then they'll end up ordering it.
And what are you planning to do next from here? Because like you said, you're doing everything. What can you do now?
Well, I'm planning on doing more speaking engagements, and I was planning on starting that, but you know what's going on right now, that's kind of like limited. So I'm planning on, like, after all this is over, I'm planning on doing a lot more speaking engagements. I want to sell more of my treats, expand, do different things, try to make different recipes and try those out. I want to sell, of course, more of my baking boxes. I want to be able to give back a little bit more, do more with my Simone Bridges Inspires Inc. Foundation, and just grow my business, get more products on my line, keep on coming out with new products. We're coming out with some new ones. We're actually redoing my website, so I'm really, really excited. But if you all want to check out some of my products, you can go on my website, www.goddessfoodfactory.com. I want my subscription boxes to be in stores. I want to get that far, but we haven't gotten that far yet. But that is the goal, to get big enough to where my subscription boxes could be sold in stores also.
So you sell most of your subscription boxes online, right?
Yes, off of my website.
And so how did you get the traction on your website? Because I know you're talking to me about going and talking to everyone else, but you're telling me it's mostly TV shows, right?
Yes, so I'll always do interviews. I always do TV shows. I'll do different interviews with different people. I'll go on Riverside Live any chance that I get with talking to any audience, whether it's online or in person. I'll always mention my extreme baking boxes because I want everybody to know about them. And then I always, of course, hand out my flyers. Everybody will know about it. I always refer them to my social media, my website, my email, and then I always get them to end up going to my website. Of course, they'll end up visiting it to see what it's about, and then they'll end up ordering it.
And at the start, what advice would you give to a kid starting a company?
The advice that I would give to them is to dream, believe, and achieve. I always say this. Dream that you can accomplish any goal. Don't let anybody tell you that you should do something different. Believe in yourself. Believe that you can accomplish any goal that you want to accomplish. Don't let anybody talk down on you. You are great, and then achieve it. Put that dream and that belief into action. Put it into reality and make it come true. And these are my extreme baking boxes, by the way.
Those look good. And what age were you when you started this company?
I started the company when I was 11. It was January 28, 2017. So we've gone on like 3 years now. So I'm really excited. We did such an amazing job. Me and my team has been wonderful. Woo-hoo! And I feel like we're just going to keep expanding and keep doing better and keep coming out with different products.
And what age are you now?
I'm 14.
I'm 13, by the way. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me for this interview today, Chef Simone Bridges. And if there's anything you need, just email me. Thank you so much. Have a really nice time. Bye.
Bye.